Welcome to the video on foundation design of building. We are going to design a mat footing for a building with the use of parameters we obtained from the tall building design video, which I've already uploaded. So first of all, we're going to deal with process of determining a load acting on footing and problem statement. So for loads, open the ETAP software, go to the previously saved file of tall building design and run analysis. So from model explorer tab, you can just get access to column forces. Just make sure that you have selected story as a story 1 because we need to apply forces at bottommost story, and the load combinations as dead and live load accordingly, whichever value you want to get, and the station as 0 meter. So the next thing, for determining column name and position, just go to the detailing and column layout in it. And for column dimensions, just go to the model explorer, click on model, go to the structure objects, then click on story 1, then open it out and click on any column to get details of that column and the dimensions of that column. So once you've done with this, now you can just obtain the dead and live load values from model explorer tab, which I've already dictated. Now the next thing is to calculate the subgrade modulus. So for that you have to go to problem statement. So go to the problem statement which I have already calculated. Here you can see this is a problem statement given. The column locations has been identified from ETAP software, and the SPC is given as 300 kilonewton per meter square, and allowable settlement is 1 centimeter. This is given in problem statement. So now you can determine the subgrade modulus with the help of formula SPC divided by allowable settlement, which means 300 kilonewton per meter square divided by 1 centimeter. That comes as 3 into 10 to the power 4 kilonewton per meter cube. So here you have determined the subgrade modulus. The next thing is to get access to data. Here are the column names, dimensions, dead load and live load values, which we have already determined from ETAP software, and the material properties. So from C1 to C8 is mentioned over this slide, and from C9 to C16 is mentioned over this slide. This data I have occupied from ETAP software. Now the next thing is design strip. So for calculating design strip length width, you just have to go to the this IS consideration, which is 0.25 L1 or L2, whichever is less. So in our case L1 or L2 is equal, which is equals to 18. So strip width will be 0.25 of 18 meter, which is 4.5 meter, and for safe side we are going to consider it as 4 meter. For the next thing, the final slide is this is the footing dimensions. So we had as given in question, the 18 meter by 18 meter grid is given. So now the mat footing will be extended to all the side by 2 meter to cover the corners of building. So here we are done with problem statement. Next thing is to defining properties and drawing the elements for mat footing design. So open the safe software, go to the file, click on new model, select the design code as IS 456 2000, select the units as metric defaults, then click on OK. Once you selected the units as metric, go to the design preferences, go to the minimum slab covers, make it as 50. Clear cover from bottom is also 50. And preferred bar sizes, select it as 22. Click on OK. Make sure this data has been selected. Okay, so click on OK. Then click on grid only. Now coordinate system definition. So first we will draw slab of building plan. So then we will extend it to all sides equally. So for 18 meter by 18 meter slab, we required 19 grid lines of spacing of 1 meter. So select grid lines in x direction as 19 and number of grid line in y direction as also 19. And the spacing in x direction is 1 and in y direction is also 1 meter. Click on OK. Now the grid has been prepared. So go to the define, click on materials, click on add new material, click on add new material. Now the first material we have defining is M40. M40 material type is concrete. Now put the properties. You can find it from Google. Now the weight per unit volume for M40 is 25. Modulus of elasticity is 31622.7. Now the Poisson ratio is 0.2 and coefficient of thermal expansion as the next thing is shear modulus. So next thing is concrete cube compressive strength FCK, which is 40. Change it as 0.00055. Okay, 0.00055. Okay, click on OK. Now select add new material. Now add the HYSD 500. Material as rebar. Weight per unit volume, which is equals to 77. Modulus of elasticity as minimum yield stress. Minimum tensile stress is 545. Click on OK. Click on OK. So now we have defined the material properties. Next thing we have to define the slab properties. Click on add new property. Slab material is M40. Slab thickness is 500. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now go to the define. Next thing is to defining column properties. Click on add properties. Column 1 M40. Dimensions are 500 by 500. So there are two types of column only. One is 500 by 500 dimension, other one is 600 by 600. So for column 1 dimensions are 500 by 500. Click on OK. And for column 2, just make sure that you identify it as column 600 by 600 instead of column 2 and 1, so that it can easily recognize. Click on OK. Click on OK. So next thing is to defining soil subgrade. Define, click on soil subgrade properties, modify it. So subgrade modulus we have calculated as 3 into 10 to the power 4. So make it to 3e plus 0.4. Click on OK. Click on OK. So next thing is load pattern. Make sure that dead and live load has been selected. Click on OK. Go to the load cases. Dead and live load has been selected. Click on OK. Load combinations. Click on add new combination. Load combination name as combination 1. Now select it as dead load. Scale factor as 1.5. Select as live load and the factor as 1.5. This is for strength. Click on OK. Now add new combo as combo 2. This is a dead load, scale factor will be 1, and as a live load, scale factor will be 1. Now this is for service load. Now click on OK. Click on OK. Okay, so now all the required properties have been defined. Okay, so now we will go for drawing the elements, but before drawing the elements, just to make a little correction, go to the define, click on slab properties and modify it and rename it to mat footing so that we can recognize it later. Mat footing. Click on OK and click on OK. Now we will proceed with the drawing the elements. Go to the draw, click on slab slash area, type of object is slab. Make sure that property has been selected as mat footing. Now enter all the corners of slab. Done. Press the escape. Now the next thing is we will extend the slab by 2 meter outside for footing slab. So select the footing. After selecting the footing, go to the edit, click on edit areas, go to the expand slash shrink and expand it by the offset of 2 meter, which is 2000 millimeter. Click on OK. Now the footing slab has been prepared. Press the escape. Okay, so the next thing is to drawing the column. Go to the draw, click on draw columns, type of object column, property below select it as none, property above select it as column 500 by 500. First we will deal with column 500 by 500 and the next one is 600 by 600. So height below is 0 meter and height above is 2 meter. Okay, so by the use of grid locations, just place the columns correctly. Press the escape. Now we are done with C 500 by 500. The next thing is C 600 by 600. So go to the draw, click on draw columns. Now select it as 600 by 600. Okay, so we are done with columns. So now we'll draw the design strips on footing. So go to the draw, select the draw design strips. So for strip layer A, start with this 4, make all the properties as 4. Okay, so now we'll draw the design strips. From the center line of all the columns, we have to draw design strips, and just after drawing strips, just right click on the screen, then select the next one. Okay, now select the strip layer as B and draw the design strips again in Y direction. Okay, so you have drawn all the elements in the footing model. So the next thing is to assigning properties and loads. Now click on the footing area to select it. Once selected, go to the assign and click on support data. Go to the soil properties and select the soil one. Click on OK. Now soil one has been assigned to footing area. Now we'll assign the loads on the column centers. So select the first column. Now go to the assign, click on load data, go to the points load, select it as dead, put the dead load value of for column 1, which is 1850. Now select the size of load for punching shear as 500 in X direction and 500 in Y direction as column size. Click on OK. Now select it again and go to the assign, go to the assign, click on load data, go to the point loads, make it live load, put the value of live load for column 1 as 797.6, then click on OK. In this way we will have to assign the different loads in all the columns one by one. You can just cross check that how much elements have you selected on the bottom left corner. As I can see that one point is selected. Now assign the loads, point loads. You can also have a look at data values by right clicking on any column. Likewise, you can see by right clicking on this column, just go to the loads and you can cross check the dead load and live load in the load patterns over here, which is 764.1 and 769.8 for this column, which is correct. Now for C600 by 600, put the entries for these columns. Click on column center, go to the draw, go to the assign, click on load data, go to the point loads, click on dead load, put the value of dead load as 5414.9. This load value I have already dictated you in earlier segment of this video. Now change it to 600 by 600. Click on OK. Likewise, go for the live load for this column. Value of live load for this column is 2797.8. Click on OK. Go for the next column. Value of dead load for this column is 4977.2 kilonewton. Click on OK. Now go for the live load for this column. Two 2579.8. Likewise, go for other columns. 5154.6 is dead load value for this column. Click on OK. Now select the same column. Make sure that one point is selected. Otherwise, escape it and select it again. Okay, go to the load data, click on point loads, make it to the live, put the live load value for this column, which is 2644. Click on OK. Now go for the last column, assign the dead load values. Click on dead, put the value of dead load as 5191.3. Click on OK. Again click on the column center, go to the assign, go to the load data, point loads, make it as live, then put the gravity load value as 2709.1. Now click on OK. So now loads have been completely assigned to all the columns. Okay, so now we will assign the rebar material. So just right click on any footing. Now go to the design, rebar material, select it as HYSD 500, click on OK, then click on OK. Properties had been set. Now the next thing is to change the rebar material in all the design strips in X and Y direction. So just select all the design strips one by one. You can see in bottom left corner one design strips has been selected. Now right click on it, click on rebar material, change the rebar material to HYSD 500, then click on OK, then click on OK. Go for the next design strip, change the rebar material to HYSD 500, click on OK, click on OK. Okay, so you can see all the design strips in A strip layer have been assigned HYSD 500 reinforcement. Now next we have to go for strip layers in B. So select any design strip in Y direction, right click on it, change the rebar material to HYSD 500 for this design strips, click on OK. Likewise for other strips. And the final one. Click on OK, just cross check once again. Okay, HYSD 500, HYSD 500, and this one is also HYSD 500. Okay, so now you are done with all the assigning. The next thing is to run analysis and design, which we will discuss next segment. Now we will go for run analysis. So go to the run, click on run analysis, and wait for SAFe to analyze the footing design. Once the analysis is complete, you can see that displacement values of different slab regions are shown over here with the intensity. Now go to the run, click on run analysis and design. Okay, so once design is complete, now go to the display, click on show punching shear design. Now as you can see, punching shear ratios in most of the columns is more than 1, and our objective is to make all these values to less than 1. So just unlock the model, and increase the slab thickness. Just go to the define, click on slab properties, mat footing, click on modify show properties and make it to, let's say, 800 mm. Now click on OK. Once you have assigned the slab properties for 800 mm thickness, just go to the run analysis again, and after analysis just go to the design. Now have a look at punching shear ratios. Still there are some columns which have punching shear ratios values are more than 1. So just unlock it again and repeat the process. Go to the define, click on slab properties and click on modify show properties. Make the thickness as, let's say this time we'll make it to 1200. Now click on OK. Click on OK. Go to the run. Click on run analysis. Again analysis and design. Go to the display. Click on show punching shear design. Now you can see all the values are less than 1. So by this you can see that we have see all the so now we can see all the punching shear ratios are still okay. So here it is 0.18, 0.56, 0.598, 0.32, 37, 0.598. Okay, so this is the final design of footing in which a design check has passed. Now we can use this slab properties in construction, and you can also see the extruded view from here. Click on this, just click on extruded view, then click on OK and go to 3D mode. So now you can have a look at 3D view of your footing design. So you can use this data in construction. So now we can have a look at report and results also. Just go to the normal mode, click on this, remove the extruded view. Now go to the 2D. Okay, so let's move to the next thing, which is interpretation of results and analysis data. Okay, so go to the display and go to the show strip forces. Now you can see for different load cases and load combinations and different components like moment, axial force, shear force and torsion, and for different strip layers we can see all the diagrams and values. Like for example, we are selecting as moment and load cases dead load for layer A. Click on apply. So in this case you can see all the moment values in layer A. You can move your cursor to see the different values at different sections. Likewise you can go for layer B also. Click on apply. Here you can see, and also you can see the axial force and shear force and torsion values. So remove this. Now you can go to the display and see the show slab design. Now in this, click on impose minimum reinforcing, click on apply. Now you can see top and bottom reinforcement intensities by moving your cursor accordingly. Now go to the display. Next thing you can check is slab forces, stresses. Just select, for example, I'm selecting moment maximum and click on for load cases dead. You can also select as live also. Click on apply. So you can see moment values, intensity in the power of 10 to the power 3. Go to the display. Next thing we can see is crack width. For example, we are saying it for slab bottom face and load cases dead. Click on apply. You can have a look at crack width due to dead load at bottom slab. These are the crack which are gonna appear. So as you can see, these are in the values are in the range of 10 to the power minus 3. So these are not that significant. So we can ignore this. Likewise, now you can go for detailing. Click on detailing. So for detailing values, you just have to run detailing. Click on run detailing. Mark all the three values and run the detailing. You can see the slab reinforcement detailing over here. Zoom it and wait for it to wait for safe 2016 to respond. Okay, so here you can see all the reinforcement detailing. Now go to the detailing, click on drawing component view and click on rebar or drawing list, slab view, rebar table. You can see the reinforcement table with cut length, numbers, total length. You can also see the rebar schedules, how much length of each bar we needed, number of bars in all the design strips. You can also have a look at bill of quantities, length, weight, etc. You can see cover sheets. You can explore all the options from this tab from detailing. This is how we're going to complete the design of footings, and that's how we completed our project on design of tall building design footing. Thank you.